Hey everybody, we're live. Todd Schroth here, Agents Who Win. My partner Daniel Betancourt. Thanks for popping on today.
What's going on, everyone? Happy President's Day. Happy birthday, George Washington.
Happy President's Day and happy Monday. It's the beginning of an awesome week. We've had a lot of exciting news happen in the last week. Who else did we talk about? Zillow. So I wanted to spend a little time to talk about how to pivot and what's going on there and what it really means to us, our opinions, and kind of help you guys out to see what I think you can do about it, and kind of how to shift your vision on what's going on there.
Yeah, so Zillow, if you haven't been on social media at all or reading the realtor news, Zillow is purchasing showing time for the attractive price of $500 million. Who wouldn't sell their real estate technology for that price?
I mean, I'm happy to do that.
Right. So can you blame showing time for selling for $500 million to Zillow? First, that, and a couple years ago, Zillow bought Dotloop. So I think that contributes to the frenzy that we hear from all the realtors, kind of a lot of them in panic because Zillow has purchased showing time and they own Dotloop. And, there are rumors of other things they're planning to buy.
I mean, they are becoming a conglomerate, and there's a vision with what they're doing. And, obviously I'm still partnered with them on some ad spend on zip codes, and we're partnered with them because we make money on the ads that are doing it. And buyers still go there. So we have to go where the buyers are searching. Unfortunately they are buying our showing system. What does it mean? We don't know. That's going to be a year from now. Right.
They're buying the showing system. So what it means to me is they're going to be owning a company that has it nailed down pretty well on how to set up showings for homes. That much is what we know is included with the purchase. That it might come along with their whole history of what homes were shown in the past, and they get a lot of data and research information in that. But it's going to make it easier for Zillow to set up showings in the future when they finalize things.
Well, I know Open Door had set up a show me now type system where it's you can go into the houses as you want to, and I think their goal there is going to be where they've got, since the showing system's there, the buyers can just schedule showings with an agent while they're there on a particular block, and maybe it'll be for Zillow's brokerage, for the agents to be set up there. I mean, There's a lot of companies. It's funny now. I'm seeing Instant Showing or Insta Showing is another one that's popping out. I just friended the owner of it today on Facebook, so I want to talk to him to see what he's doing. But our MLS systems have to then cooperate with all these different showing systems that we want to now pivot to.
Right. So there are some other, people have thrown out things like Calendly, but there are other competitors at showing time that, if there's a way to buy stock in those companies, they're probably going to do pretty well in this, because I imagine there's going to be some blowback to showing time for selling to Zillow.
Yeah.
But, this is where it would really be beneficial to be on the board of the MLS and the Realtor Association. That's just, you'll be in there. I mean, the MLSs are the ones who make these decisions along with the Realtor board. So I imagine there's going to be a lot of pressure on both of those associations to explore other options.
Yeah, there's going to be, and I hate to be in those positions right now, because I've had calls from agents out of the state who are like, who do you know on your board? What are they doing? And I mean, do you really think everybody is pivoting that quickly? And the boards are like, oh my God, we've got a frenzy of showing time, so we all need to reconvene today. And, I'm trying to talk to some people to see what the plans are, but that's nothing that they're going to have answers for right away. It's going to take time. I mean, this is all, news that's just popping out, and everyone's got to figure out what's going on.
Yeah, right now they're planning on whether they should initiate a brainstorming phase. In the next meeting a month from now, they will vote on whether or not they should brainstorm on this topic.
Let's all jump on a Zoom call tomorrow and Tuesday to talk about it. But yeah. I mean, whatever it is, we've got to shift, we've got to pivot, and for whatever happens a year from now. And still, you want to learn how to control your data. And some people are okay having all this showing scheduled through them, where, I mean, let me run my phone up and get text messages and still control the showings, where some of us, like myself, I love the automation of showing time because I can track the showings, but I don't need to be involved in the day-to-day monotony of 72 showings on one house. And it's not always like that, but on a general basis, it's going to be, you know, if your listings are hot and you have a lot of them, it is hard to manage, you know, when you've got a good bulk sitting there. And I don't want to hire someone at 30, 40,000 a year or $15 an hour to manage the showings. And it's what the software is supposed to do.
Right. Yeah, I mean, it would be beneficial to know what kind of contract the MLS has with showing time, but I'm sure there are other options out there. You know, if it was really important enough to you, you could pay for one of those options, even though you get showing time for free as a benefit to our local board. If you want to do something like that, you can pay out of pocket, but then, you know, that cuts into the benefits that you get as a realtor in your local board. So, there's just a lot of unknown. It's a few days. I'm not even sure the purchase, as far as I know, is not finalized yet. And, you know, it has a lot of data for the past. We just are unsure of how it's going to affect the future.
Right. No, exactly. And we don't want to take too much time on it, but I wanted to kind of talk about that today, because I think it's a lot of people are like, what do we do? What do we do? And me personally, I'm just, you know, there's nothing I can do about it, because I don't have $550 million to go out and buy showing time and recontrol it. All I can do is just, you know, sit back, wait, and try to figure out things as they go along. And when it gets closer to that end result, that's when we need to figure out what's happening. I mean, obviously stay in the know.
This whole, you know, for lack of a better word, hysteria about the Zillow thing just speaks volumes for why we should diversify where our business comes from also.
True.
You know, there's a lot of agents that put all of their marketing budget into Zillow. And if Zillow one day just shuts them off or says, hey, you know, you can be with us and become a Zillow agent, or you can be against us and be on the other side, you know, that their options are going to be very few, obviously, in that situation. So it's really important to have 4 or 5, you know, up to 10 lead sources. You should diversify your lead sources and not put all your eggs in one basket. I used to spend money with Zillow. I know that, you know, part of the reason why Zillow's has billions of dollars is because us as realtors, we've been contributing to their pot. I'm not speaking, you know, I don't think Zillow is all evil, but I've started pulling back and using those marketing budgets in other places to generate business, so that way, you know, I'm more diversified. But they provided a service. They made a lot of agents a lot of money. Now we just have to keep modernizing our efforts to generate more business.
Well, I think it's the same thing here. We have a small budget there, and I have told a couple people today on our team that I'm like, we're looking at pulling out of that eventually. But as we start to grow other platforms and let those start being successful, we still want to keep that as a lead source, because that is the known name of, you know, real estate. When people are doing searches online, they know Zillow, they go to Zillow, kind of like Rocket Mortgage and some of these others. There's so much money pumped into advertising and the big brands that it just becomes top of mind for them. Let me go to Zillow and see what's on the market for sale. And then buyers, I'm like, go to my website, find stuff that's just as accurate. They keep sending me Zillow links. That's just the top of mind.
Right.
And so we've got to train the buyers to go a different direction to find properties. But they do have their hands in everything. And I think, you know, I've got some friends that are spending $15,000, $20,000 a month, if not more, on Zillow leads. And, you know, as they open their brokerage business up and hire agents, they're not going to be needed anymore. So those guys need to shift and pivot. Where you talked about 10 or 12 lead sources, I think we've added 5 new sources in the last month to our portfolio of leads. And we added another one today. And so it's like, whereas we can get those up and running, then we'll start pulling back from the ones that aren't working. And I know Zillow is a good lead source. I mean, one of my agents loves when that calls. But you got to get used to not having that opportunity.
It's a good idea to always be open to new lead sources, at least on a quarterly basis. You should add a new lead source and diversify. So don't just put all your eggs in one basket and say, you know, on January 1st, I'm going to come up with a new lead source and that be it for the end of the year. Come up with new lead sources. And I think we all know relationships are what count the most. So you have to nurture all of your past customers. You have to stay in touch with them. Selling real estate, I've told lots of people who ask me, staying in touch with your sphere and your past customers. That's at least, you know, half of the success is just staying in touch with the people that you did business with. So if someone who falls into a trap, for lack of a better word, with Zillow, and you're just working new leads and forgetting about the ones that you've closed, that's, and if you want to leverage what you've spent already with Zillow, go back and talk to all those people in your Zillow pipeline.
Right.
And in addition to it, stay in touch with your past customers.
Put them on a retargeting campaign. I mean, that's one of the things we were talking about today with this new source, where they're letting us get into 1,200 old opportunities, and then obviously the upcoming ones that are on there every month. And so we're going to take those 1,200 and call all of them, and then put them on a retargeting campaign, and they're more legit email and phone numbers. So like, get them on a drip and see what we can convert out of it.
Right. You just stay in touch with I know you do a great job with staying in touch with your sphere.
Yeah.
Everyone should put that should be a priority in everyone's real estate business. So if you haven't had a system in place for staying in touch with the past customers who already know, like, and trust you, I think the biggest takeaway from this, you'd be a lot less worried about it if all of your past customers, your name was top of mind to them. So it's really important to structure a system for that. If you need help, you can talk to Todd or myself, because we have those systems in place. But that's something that every realtor should be doing. And if you're starting real estate, this week, it's something you should be doing from day one. You'll be way ahead of the game.
Well, and I was talking with one of our coaches last week. I was like, I want to get a system put together for new agents on how to develop that sphere. And we're putting it this week of, what new agents can do, because a lot of you guys who are brand new in the business, how do I get them to know, like, and trust me? I'm brand new. I don't have a history. Well, there's a way to build your history, but you want to work off and you're going to build that history through social media. Work on your company sphere, work on your team sphere, or not sphere, but sales, and let them build a brand around what someone else is doing. Then eventually you have your own business that you can sit there and market. And so if they see success, they're going to start to see what you're doing.
So many people say, man, if I could just get in front of more people. When I'm in front of people, I knock it out of the park, but I don't get in front of people often enough. And a way that you can get in front of more people is by implementing a video strategy. So you implementing an effective video strategy, you're going to put yourself in front of more people, and the ones that experience what you're like on video, they'll reach out to you. So it just has to be systematized, and you have to have a strategy. Like anything important to you, you have to strategize for it, not just kind of willy-nilly go at it. So we'd love to help you if that's something that you want to do, want to implement. We have lots of ideas that can help you in that. And you can connect with me, teambetancourt.com. And Todd, you can connect with him through
Schroth.work.
Right. Or your awesome contact card.
Yeah, content cards. There, we got a lot of links on there with a lot of different ideas as well. But yeah, and again, just kind of talking about the partnering side. If you guys are in other areas and other markets and want to partner with us and just talk about how to build your businesses, definitely reach out to us and we can help you with that.
We're also looking for referral partners all over the country. So if you're not in Florida or Central Florida, we'd love to connect with you, because we get lots of inquiries for customers that are either family members. People call me all the time. Hey, my daughter wants to buy a house in Texas. Do you work in Texas? And those opportunities, we like to refer those people out. So whether you're local or not, just touch base with us. Let us know where you're from. Comment in Agents Who Win. Comment in Real Estate Moves. Just let us know where you're from, and we'll log it on our tracker.
Awesome. Well, guys, appreciate today. Danny, anything else?
Hope you have an awesome rest of the day, and we'll stay in touch.
And we'll say, go Zillow. No. All right, guys. Have a good one.
All right. Take care.